Welcome to a new fragrance review. Today I'm going to tell you the top 10 fragrance on Shopper, or if you're in Quebec, Pharmaprix. So I went on the website of Shopper and I put men's fragrance, or I call it cologne, and I put it in the top rated, and this is how we're gonna go. I think the top rated is not really the best way to put it, but that's how we're gonna work. And I'm gonna tell you that list is gonna be extremely surprising. Some of them won't be as usual in top, but some of them will be extremely surprising. So let's start now with number 10. It's Artisan by John Varvatos. And this fragrance, actually, I don't like it at all. I'm gonna have to review it this year because I got like 2 bottles of it that I purchased in like not samples kit or something like that, or like travel atomizer kit. So really I'm gonna have to review it, but I don't like it. I don't enjoy it, though it's a really, let's say, bold fragrance for summer, so it might be something you enjoy, but there's just a note there that I don't quite enjoy. I'm not fully analyzed it yet to really pinpoint what it is that I don't like, but I don't really like it. But I know it's really well-loved fragrance, and if you're a fan, bold fragrance for summer might be something you enjoy. I think there's like notes of orange or mandarin, but it makes sense. Being number 10 makes sense. Number 9 is Lacoste Essential, and this is something surprising. It's not a fragrance that I'm really used to. I think I smelled it once on paper and long time ago, so I'm not really sure exactly what it smells, but it's a Lacoste. I think their kind of fragrance is something that everyone would like, but no one will absolutely love. So it makes sense that people will like it. Also, Lacoste, not necessarily like the fragrance, but the brand itself, a lot of people like it. So it makes sense that it's there. I'm surprised that it's not L1212 white that is there, but maybe they put better advertising on this fragrance. Number 8 is Spice Bomb by Victor and Rolf, and this one makes sense. It's a big spice bomb, I can say it like that, and it's a nice clubbing fragrance, really original. And I'm not a big fan of clubbing fragrance, but it's one of those that makes sense that it's there, and one of the best clubbing fragrance, I would say. And this one, it makes sense that it's there, but when I'll go through the list, you're gonna see that there's a lot of fragrance that should have been there before it, and it's not there. Number 7, it's Nuit d'Issée by Issey Miyake. Again, I haven't tried this fragrance. I'm not like, I've smelled L'Eau d'Issey. I was not really impressed, so I didn't really try to dig more into that brand. I know it's a brand that a lot of people really enjoy, and if you're more into fresh fragrance, I think that brand is a better brand for that. I'm more into like leathery fragrance, so they don't really go in the path that I take, but again, it's a fragrance that is really loved. The brand especially somewhat sense that it's there. And talking of L'Eau d'Issey, it's the next fragrance, number 6, and I don't really enjoy it. I haven't really enjoyed it so much, but I still think it's a great fragrance. If you're someone that loved in the old time Acqua di Gio, I think it's a great replacement that is a bit more modern. It's not because I don't like it that I don't understand that it's a great fragrance. For sure, it's a way better fragrance than Artisan. If you're looking for a fresh, unique summer fragrance, I think it's way better. And that should probably be one of your biggest pick if you're a big summer fragrance fan. Also, it's a fragrance you can have for a decent price. It depends. At the time, discounter price vary, but I think you can have it for a decent price. It's going to be more expensive than Artisan, but will be probably better. Now, number 5 is a fragrance you can expect, and it's Invictus by Paco Rabanne. And I think it's a great fragrance for the type of fragrance it is, and all those mass appealing fragrance, a bit youthful, to go clubbing, and it's nice. It's not necessarily the best fragrance. I think it's a little bit boring, but the DNA really made its mark in the world, and it's good that it's there. Makes sense. And still, if you want Invictus, any of the flanker and what's available right now, that's still the original that makes sense to buy. Number 4 is 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, and I don't like that fragrance, but so many people love it that it makes sense that it's really high like that in the top 10. I think it has some kind of rotten smell into it. The grapefruit, the note they use for the grapefruit, is not nice at all. So I don't really enjoy it. I know a lot of people love it. The bottle, somewhat tacky, but it's still nice. And I like the color gold. If I would enjoy it, maybe I would have a bottle of it. But being in the top 10, being number 4, makes sense. And it's always loved when you ask on the online what are the best fragrance. And you always see someone answering 1 million in those lists. There's often 1 Million, Sauvage, and Invictus in the list. Depending where you're asking, you're gonna get a little bit of Baccarat Rouge, Club de Nuit Intense, man, Aventus, Bois d'Argent, also that will appear, but mainly 1 Million will always be there. Number 3, it's where it starts to get really surprising. The top 3 is like mind-blowing. And number 3 is the less surprising of them all, and it's Dior Homme Cologne. And I smell it. I don't really enjoy that specific Dior Homme, but they really took a turn into something more mass appealing. And I would say that in being a mass appealing fragrance, I would say Cologne is the best flanker for that. Of course, people in the fragrance community will like intense more, usually, sometimes parfum, but I think as a broad audience, the Cologne is the one that will be loved the most. Fashion is just toward fresh fragrance, and it's the freshest of the line. Number 2 is Dior Fahrenheit. And this is really surprising. I mean, I didn't expect to have Fahrenheit in the list. And I think it's a good thing, because if it's loved so much, it means it's probably gonna stay there for a long time. Fragrance is really great. A leather and violet fragrance with a little bit of gasoline feel to it. It's not like a note in there, but it kind of have that feel a little bit. It's really the accord of those two notes together that makes it. It's a great fragrance. If you love violet and leather, it's absolutely a fragrance you love. If you just love one of the two and like one of the other, you probably really enjoy the fragrance. I think it's really special that it's there in the list. Number 2, I imagined, because it's a fragrance that a lot of people hate, that it would be low, but it's number 2 on the list when I put it as top rated first. And personally, it's a really great fragrance. In the whole list, it is the one that I like the most, and it's also the most unique fragrance in the list. And number 1, also something surprising, it's Gentlemen Only by Givenchy. And this fragrance, I haven't really tried it. I think I tried it on paper a long time ago. I should give it a try eventually, and for like review it and everything. But it's really surprising that it's there in number 1. I would have expected Sauvage, Invictus, or 1 Million, something like that. But Gentlemen Only, really. And it makes me really want to give it a try. If the list makes Fahrenheit being number 2, maybe number 1 would be something to try. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Usually I go more toward what I think of the fragrance and all. I didn't really went deep into it. I think the list is really surprising. I like to know which one surprised you the most on the list, and if you would have liked any other fragrance on that list, and being in the top 10, which one you think don't deserve to being so highly rated, and which one you think deserve it. So, thanks for watching, and see you soon.